Welcome to myonlineedu.com's video tutorial. In this tutorial, we'll learn how to install MySQL database on Ubuntu. So as you can see, I am using the Ubuntu terminal. So here, first we need to update our apt package, apt package. So this is the command first you need to run, the sudo apt and update the user password. So it's updating the apt package. Okay, after that we need to run sudo apt install MySQL server. Do you want to continue? Yes. So as you can see, it's installing MySQL server and the necessary packages to Ubuntu operating system. Okay, so this command has ended. Now, if you have noticed that it did not ask for any root password to set any password, right? So because this is a very secured way that MySQL got installed. So after that, we need to install one more stuff which will actually ask for the password for the root user in MySQL. So after that, you can see that MySQL got installed. You see here the version 5.7.29 got installed, but there was no point where it asks for a root password, right, to set the root password. So to do that, you need to run one more command, which is sudo MySQL secure installation. So I'll press Y. So then it's asking for the level of password. Okay, basically I'll press 0 over here to make it low. So it's asking for the password. I'll keep the password. Re-entering. Yes, I want to continue. Yes. No, I don't want to disallow because I want to remotely connect using root password, maybe from MySQL workbench, which is later on I'll show you. So all done. So this command has successfully installed now MySQL, as well as I have secured the MySQL with my password. So now what I'll do is run the sudo MySQL command. So now I have got in straight into MySQL, as you can see, right? So it did not ask for any password, right? So I got straight connected to the root. So now this is because there is a authentication mechanism which is actually needs to be modified. So let's see. So now we have to run this command to see, and just selecting the users of root user, what is the plugin for authentication. So as you can see here, this is auth socket. So we need to change it to MySQL native password. Then it will ask for the root password. So to change the plugin to from auth socket to MySQL native password, I have to use this command, alter user, then the username and the localhost, because this is a localhost server, identified with MySQL native password by the actual password. So this is the password will be set. So remember that root user with a root password. Just for example, you can set your own password as you want. I need to provide a strong password, maybe greater than 8 characters. Okay, let's see if it takes. Yes, So now the password is set. So if you run this command again, so now you can see the root also have now authentication string as well as the plugin as the MySQL native password. Now you need to flash the privileges to take this change effective immediately. Now you can run this command to see that the authentication string is set and the plugin is been changed to MySQL native password to root user. Now let's exit MySQL and then try to log into MySQL again. You see, now you cannot actually log into MySQL directly. So now what you need to run is sudo mysql -u, that is username, as root -p. So it will ask for the password. You remember welcome 123 was the password. So now I am logged in. If you run any command, so databases, so these are the databases are available in MySQL. So now we are into MySQL. Now you can create your own schema and all this stuff. But before that, we will now see how we can connect this MySQL database using MySQL Workbench. So MySQL Workbench is a IDE from where you can interact with the database very easily. Let me show you that one. Okay, so to install MySQL Workbench, you need to go over here into Ubuntu software. Okay, and then you can search with MySQL Workbench. So the search came up. Okay, and then you need to install this thing. Just click on install. So MySQL Workbench is installing. So what it does is it's a very user interface software which interacts with the MySQL database remotely. So also it has a good user interface where you can create the database, create the tables, run the SQL queries, in a visual way rather than in the command line on the terminal. So let's wait for some time while it gets installed. So as you can see that now MySQL Workbench got installed. So we can see the installation from here. So now let's open this MySQL Workbench. All right. So is either I can make a new connection, or is the local instance which is port 3306, which is also fine. So let's make a new connection to show you that how this new connection things work. So connection is that I'll just give a name, local MySQL. Okay, and then the root is fine. So the password, you remember that welcome 123. Okay, so I'll now test the connection. Rest, I'll keep it as default because it's a local host as well as the port 3306, which is absolutely fine. So it successfully made the connection. I click OK. So it's my local MySQL. Okay, so I'll just double click on it. So it opens up. So now I can run. First thing is that I need to default select a schema. So let's select this schema as for time being, and you can now see what are the different tables. Now the same thing, some command I can run. So now it has the same information but in a good visual way. So this is how you can actually install MySQL Workbench and then connect to any database, any MySQL database. Maybe it's local or maybe it's a remote. So you can come to home. If you want to connect to any remote database also, then just give the host name and the port where the MySQL is running, and the desired username, because root will not be allowed in most of the cases. So now, as you can see, that you can run your command, you can create your own database, and then basically you can create your own tables over here. So I'll create another video on how to use MySQL Workbench and to connect with the MySQL database and do your stuff. But for time being, I'll conclude this video, and hopefully this was helpful. And if you find this helpful, please subscribe to our channel to grow, to help us grow, and please share this video with your friends or like this video. Thank you for watching.